let's understand this topic, pivot table. So far we have seen sorting, formatting. They are simple concept, but pivot table is a powerful tool that alone provide us the ability to calculate, summarize, analyze data that lets you see comparisons, patterns. So uh, in most of the time we have large sets of data and we want to see different types of comparison between different. We want to see the different hidden patterns in the data. We want to see what is the trend. Is it uh, increasing trend or it is decreasing trend in your data? So pivot tables are actually one of the Excel's most powerful features, and it allows you to extract significance from a large and detailed data set. For a small data set, it is not going to do well, but for a large and detailed data set, it actually do a lot of good things. So what it can do, suppose we have this data, right? Order ID, product, category, amount. So we have all of these. Now suppose what we want to know is for a specific country, for a particular product, how much amount of sale happened for a particular category. Okay, so you can actually do filtering, but what is a combined sale of vegetable in all the countries? So it is very difficult to extract that kind of data, but using pivot table it becomes very easy. Okay, so let's see some of the example what we can do in the pivot table. So insert a pivot table. So how you insert a pivot table? First, to insert a pivot table, execute the following steps. Click any single cell inside the data. So means just like earlier, you need to click on any cell. Okay. Then you go to insert tab. So we have worked with data tab, right? We had worked with different tabs. Now go to insert. So in the insert, you will find this concept called pivot table. Okay, so you click on this pivot table. So what it will do is it will automatically select the data for you, means from the data set what is the data, from where it is starting and from where it is ending. So it will get the table range. So this range will be automatically taken for entire data set. So that's why you have to click on this single cell. If you don't click on single cell, then it is not going to take this range. Then you have to specify manually. So again, if you don't want it to be or do it automatically, you can also mention the range of what range you want to work on. That's why Excel automatically selects the data for you. The default location for new pivot table is new worksheet. Now the result and analysis of this pivot table will be stored in a separate worksheet. Now what do you mean by worksheet? So the data we have, this data we have, the result of the analysis will be stored in separate sheet like this. Okay? So I'll show you how to do that. Then click OK. So when you click OK and see, either you can use new worksheet, or what you can do is in the existing worksheet only you can generate the pivot table. Okay, so there are two ways you can use one of them, but most of the time we use new worksheet only because we don't want to do anything with our original data set. Then how actually you can click or generate the pivot table. So when you click on the pivot table and click the data and press OK, so this kind of screen dialog box will come in front of you. Okay? So filtering, columns, rows, values. Okay, so this kind of things come in front, and this is the result. You see, for all the countries, for all the fruits, what is the sum of the amount? Okay, and this is the grand total. So this you will not find in anywhere that in the concept that we have discussed so far, right? Now if you select a specific country, for that specific country, what is the sum of amount for enter this food labels and what is the grand total, you can easily find out. So these are actually becoming easy with the help of pivot table. Okay, now what you can do is drag fields. First you need to drag the fields. So pivot table fields pan appear. So this is the pivot table pan to get the total amount exported of each product. So our target is to get the total amount exported of each product. Drag the following fields to different areas. Okay, now see, when this comes, this will come in front of you. Okay, Now what will you do to get the total amount exported of each product? We need to find out this thing, right? So this is the amount, total amount, and this is the total amount exported, and this is the amount for individual goods, right? Now what will you do is, first you product field to the rows area, so you select this product and you bring it to here, rows. Then amount field to the values area, because see, rows will consist of the product that we want to calculate. Okay? Then what is this? Values. Values means what is the final amount, so that will be, because that is sum of the amount, right? So that will come here. And for which country, so if you want all the countries, then that means you can actually select the filter, so the country should be bring to this filter, right? So now from this you click okay, then what will you get? Bananas are the main export product. You see which one is the highest sale. So if you look at this carefully, bananas sale is the highest, right? So bananas are main export product. That's how easy pivot table can be. But to get come to this point, single and linear means if you want to use your own mathematical skills, then it will take time. But from pivot table becomes easy, right? So again, let me tell you what you do. First, to bring this product to rows, because we need the product list. Then our output is the sum of the amount, right? So we this amount to values. Then we need country wise or total wise, right? So that we can filter. So filtering. So when you do this, so you will see by looking at these results, okay, you will get to know that bananas are the main product that you are exporting. Okay? Next, now see in this result, so these are actually not sorted order, so these are sorted according to the food name. So uh, our target is to get the highest export product, right? So we need to sort this amount. So sort this to get banana at the top of the list, and not only banana. So you want to know which one is the highest export, right? To get the banana at the top of the list, sort the pivot table. So click any cell inside the sum amount column. So click, right click and click on sort. Sort largest to smallest. So largest to smallest. So you see banana is coming at the top. So that's how you get to know banana is the main product that you are exporting. Okay? That's how easy pivot table can be, right? So this is one example. Using this same concept, you can do lot of other examples, and not only single thing you can use over here. You can use multiple columns or multiple data sets in pivot table. So you have to go into deep for that. Then filtering. Now just like this is country all, so what you can do is, because we added the country field to the filters area, we can filter this pivot table by country. So country wise you can actually filter. Now for France, what is the highest exported amount? For different countries, what is the highest exported quantity, right? So for example, which product do we export the most to France, right? So we, right, so we are exporting apple to France the most. The filter drop down and select France. So if you select France, so automatically you will get the results. Okay, by looking at the results, you can automatically say that okay, apple is the product that we export to France the most, right? So apples are our main export product to France, right? So let me now give you some demonstration, right, how you can use the pivot table, right? So we already have this data set which is different from the one that I have explained you. So now see, this data set is used, right? So how many columns? 1 2 5 6 7 13 14, around 14 to 15 columns. And how many number of rows? See, you go to down, so there are total 8400 samples of data. So it's not an small data set, it's a huge data set. Now from this, what I want to know is, for our product, right? So whatever product we have, product category. Now see, for every province, for each product, how much sale is happening. Okay, so that we want to know. So this is product category, product. Now for each product, how much amount of sale happening in different provinces. Let's check. So how do you get into the pivot table? So what you need to go to insert, then this pivot table, click on here. So just like I said, we already selected this, right? So this will get automatically. This is the new worksheet. Let me tell you this about worksheet. This is the current worksheet, right? And if you want to add new worksheet, so this is how you can add new worksheet over here in the same Excel file, right? But this is not required now. I'm going to delete. So this is the original data file. So you go to insert pivot table. Okay, data is selected, new worksheet. Okay, you see a new sheet is generated over here, right? Now this is the pivot table pan, right? So now you here, so filter. So what filter you want? So you want province filter. No. Then what we want? We want product category. Right? So product category comes into the row. You see at the left side, you can see this is coming like this. Okay? So automatically these things are coming. So product category. Now on what is the value? So value is the sale. So it comes over here. Values. So you see automatically you can see that for product category furniture, this is the sum of sales. For office supplies, this is the sum of sales. For technology, this is the sum of sales. And if we want to select Alberta, so you can, okay, for Alberta, this is the amount, this is the total sum of sales. Suppose let's select all the amount. So we want to sort, right? So sort by value, smallest to largest or largest to smallest. Suppose, okay, sum of sales is coming like, okay, technology sale is the highest, furniture, then supply. You want to go specifically here, you can use these filters, right? Now suppose here I select all Manitoba, right? So technology is the highest, furniture, okay, again you select some other, the highest, technology, again furniture, again applies. Suppose this is the, so this is how things are changing, right? So this is how easy pivot table is, right? Okay. Select all, then suppose now here you want to add another category, so you want to add products subcategory over here. You see now things are getting different. Okay, things are getting different now. So you see different wise. So if you want to sort by value, some of the values largest to smallest, you see the things are changing. Okay, for technology, these are the product subcategory, these are the sales, and again if you want to change the Alberta, then accordingly for Alberta the things are getting changed. So this becomes very easy. Otherwise to get into this analysis it takes a lot of time. Okay? So I believe you understand the pivot table. So let me again show you once. Okay, let's delete this one. You are in this directory, go to insert pivot table and new worksheet. Okay, so what you do is first you select the product category, comes here, then sales comes here, then province, it comes here, but you can drag. So this is how you drag. So this is the result you are getting. So you select this one, right? Then if you want to again add product subcategory, you can do it here. So accordingly it will come. You want to sort, sort, so largest to smallest. So this is how you are getting the results, right? So now these results you can use any way you want, right? That's all for pivot table. Let's understand the topic, what if. So what if analysis is the process of change to see how those sum of formula worksheet. Now what happens, sometimes know the result filling some values, or we want to analyze if we change some values how the result will affected, right? So that is where we what if analysis comes into picture. right? So that's why it is said it is the process of changing the values in sales. Means if you change some values in the sales and how it will affect the outcome, so that you can do with the help of what if analysis. So for example, you can do what if analysis to build two budgets that can each assumes a certain level of revenue. Means suppose you can come up with two different budgets, and you want in one budget you want revenue of suppose 10 lakhs, on in one another budget you want revenue of suppose 15 lakhs, right? Now to come up with this revenue, what are the changes you will do, right? So that here there you can use what if analysis, right? Again, another one way is you can specify a result that you want a formula to produce, and then determine what sets of values will produce that result. Now suppose uh, in the first case, basically what happens is you give some certain values and you come up with some budgets, right? Second scenario is, okay, you know the result, and to get into that result what value should be given so that result will come, right? So both are two different scenarios, right? So we'll explain this in detail, right? So three different kinds of what if analysis tool come with Excel. One is scenarios, one is goal seek, and one is data tables, right? So here scenarios and data tables work similarly, right? So both takes set of input values and determine the possible results. Now suppose uh, given some percentage, okay, so suppose you want to sell books, okay, and what profit you are earning, right? So how much book or how many books you will sell at 60% or 70%, so that your revenue comes higher, right? So now if you sell 60% of the book at maximum price, or 70% of the books at maximum price, how the results will be different, okay? And goal seek basically works differently from scenarios and data. In case of scenarios and data tables, they take input values, and depending on that input values your result will be different, right? But in case of goal seek, you know the goal. Suppose let me give you a simple example. In a course you have different set of assignments, okay, then you have continuous assessment, then you have internal assessment, right? And finally you will be having a final exam, right? Before final exam you already know the marks that you got in all the internal assessment, all the continuous assessment, and the set of assignments. Now how much you have to score in final exam to get 90% in total. In this case you already know you have to get 90%, and you already know different values, but one value is missing, that is the final marks, right? So what value you will, or what marks you will get in final, so that your percentage will be 90. So that is actually goal seek, okay? And first case is, if you change the marks of internal assessment and the CAT and the assignments, then what will be the different percentage of marks you will get? So that is scenarios and data tables, right? But I'll show you one example of scenarios and goal seek, okay? Because data table and scenarios are almost same. So suppose assume you own a bookstore and have 100 books in that storage, okay, and you sell a certain percentage for the highest price of $50 and certain percentage for lower price of $20, okay? So means suppose you have 100 books and you have sell some percentage of the books at the cost of $50 and some percentage of the book at the cost of $20, okay? So what will be the profit, okay? So total number of books is 100, percentage sold for the highest price, that is in 50. Suppose you have sold 60% of the books at the highest price and 40% of the books at this lower price of 20. So highest price 60 books and lower price 40 books. So how you are getting this? You can see this is a formula, right? And this formula will give you 40, okay? And you already know that 60% of the book is sold using the highest price, that is $50. 40 books will be sold at $20. So total profit you are earning is $3,800. So if you sell 60% for the highest price, sell D10. So this is D column and this is 10, right? So this is the profit. Calculates a total profit of 60 into 50, 60 into 50, plus 40 into 20, that is total 3,800 rupees, right? So this is the profit you are getting. Now suppose you change this value from 60 to 70, now what will be the profit? Okay, that what will be the profit? Now if you change this 60 to 40, then what will be the profit? So that you can come up with scenarios. So let's see, so let's again first you have to do what if analysis, and in what if analysis you can have scenarios or goal seek or data table, right? So what if you want to sell 70% for the highest price? What if you sell 80% for the highest price, 80% of the books? And what if you want to sell 90% or even 100% of the books at the highest price? So how the results will be different? Okay, so you can analyze those things. Okay, so these things are required for planning. Okay, so each different percentage is a different scenario, right? So here this input is different, so for every different input there is a different scenario. Okay, so for that we have to use this scenario manager to create these scenarios. So how you can do that? On the data tab, so we already know what is data tab, right? The focus group, in the data tab, in the focus group, so you can see this focus group, click what if analysis. So if you click, you will be given three options. One is scenario manager, one is goal seek, and one is data table, right? So from that you click scenario manager, then this window will come in front of you. Okay, now here you are actually going to add the different scenarios. Okay? So what are the different scenarios? 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, like this. Right, so what will you do? So you add a scenario by clicking on add. So you add over here, right? Type a name, 60% highest, select cell C4. Now okay, how C4? Because see, this particular field is C4, so this is C column and this is 4, and the lower price books will come from this formula, right? So B4, what is B4? B4, that is 100, so total number of book is 100 into 1 minus C4. So C4 is, it is 60%, that means 60 by 100, so it is again come 40 by 100, so 100 multiplied by 40 by 100, so total remains is 40, right? So that's how you get this 40 number, right? So you add this. Now enter the values for each changing cells. So first you have taken 0.6, means 60%, then click OK, right? So type a name, 60% highest, select cell C4, percentage sold for the highest price for changing cells, and click on OK. So we have put 0.6 and OK, right? Then enter the corresponding value 6. Okay, sorry, when you click on this, this will come, right? So you are giving the scenario name as 60% highest. Then what is the cell? So you have to select the C4 cell, right? So this cell you need to select. Okay, you need to select this cell, then you select, then you give this a comment. Okay, suppose 60% highest, or scenario name already given, then okay, then you enter the value 0.6 over here. Okay, then similarly when you do this, so this will come, this is the first scenario, 60%. Okay. Similarly what you need to do is you need to add different scenarios. Again this will be same only, so you will write 70% highest, then cell will be C4 only, then click 0.7. Similarly you will do it for 80, 90, and show, right? So when you click on show, right, so this will come, right? Scenario summary. And scenario summary, basically see, for different scenarios you will get different outputs, right? So the different output will come where it will come in D10. So what is D10? If you look at this, so this is D10, D column 10, right? So D10 is the result. Okay, then you will get this scenario where C4 is this one, means the value you have given 60. In that case the result is D10 is 3,800, 60% again 3,800, 70% 4,100, 80% 4,400, 90% 4,700, 100% 5,000. So this is how you will get the result. So how you will get to this? When you click on that, so scenario summary will come. To easily compare the results of these scenarios, execute the following state. Click the summary button in the scenario manager, right? Next select D10 for result cell and click on OK. You click on OK. So when you click on OK, so this will come. So this is the conclusion. If you sell 70% for the highest price, you obtain a total profit of $4,100. So here you can get If you sell 80% for the highest price, you obtain a total profit of 4400. And that's how easy what if analysis in Excel can be. So this is about scenario manager. Okay, so next we'll see goal seek. So what is goal seek? So basically I already told you. Now suppose in this similar case you want your profit to be $4700, irrespective of how many books or how much percentage you sold for highest price or lower price. You want your profit to be 4700. So now to get into 4700, this has to be changed, right? So how much percentage sold for highest price, this needs to be changed. Okay, so this will be automatically come. So now you know this total profit, you need to change this one. So there you can use goal seek. So what if you want to know how many books you need to sell for the highest price to obtain a total profit of exactly $4700? So you want profit of $4700. So the question is how many number of books or how many percentage of books you will sold for the highest price. Right? So similarly, how we'll do? You'll go to the data tab, the forecast. What if you click on goal seek, because you know the goal, right? Goal seek, then this will come. So here first thing is the set cell. So you already know D10. So D10 is the output to value. So this value should be $4700, right? And which information you will change? So you will change C4. So that is the percentage of books sold for highest price. Okay, so if you click on OK, so this result will come. This 90% of the books you need to sell for the highest price, so that your profit is $4700. Right? So you need to sell 90% of the books for the highest price to obtain a total profit of exactly $4700. Right? So this is goal seek. So we have seen two things. One is scenario and one is goal seek. Okay, let's understand this particular concept through a video also. Okay, so if you look at this video,
The
so
question is, what grade do I need to get on the exam?
So if you look at this video, you can see, so this is the example I am talking about. You have this assignments, right? Paper 1, paper 2, quiz, lab, and grade 58 you have got. So now you have to know what should be the, if you want final grade should be 70, what should be the final exam marks that you should get. So for that you need to first calculate the average, right? Okay, so how do you calculate the average? So if you have to calculate the average, you have to be very careful about writing formulas, and you have to be good in writing formulas in Excel, right? So there is a function called average. Okay, so that you will apply over here in this cell. So first you need to know what is the average, current average. Okay, so how you will calculate the current average? So you will actually add all this including the final exam. Okay, so now from this you have calculated the average, right? So what average will come? It will come 65. Okay, right? So 65 average, right? So now you want your final grade to be 70. Now to get final grade 70, you already have these marks. So how much marks you should get in the final exam to get 70 as final grade? Okay, so that you can do with the help of goal seek, right? So what is happening, basically you want it to 70, and for that what marks you should get. So how will you do it? So for that you have to do what if analysis. Again, in what if analysis you have to use goal seek. Okay? So this is how you go into data tab, and from the data tab you go to forecast and what if analysis. You see three different options: scenario manager, goal seek, and data table. We already explained what are these things. Then you go to goal seek, then set cell, right? So now which one you need? You need B and 7, right? B7. So you said B7. What value you want? Instead of 65 you want it 70. And which cell you are going to change? So you are going to change this one, that is B6. So you select, so it will select B6. Okay, so it will do some kind of calculations, right? So it will check and it will give you the correct answer, using which you can get final grade 70. Okay? So goal seeking with cell B7 found a solution, target value 70, current value 70. So you have to score 90% marks to get final grade as 70. Okay? So this way it is very useful, right? And if you know how to do what if analysis, in many ways you can apply this in real life. for different problems. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. So with this we end up with what if analysis. Okay, if you want to go into deep on these topics, you can refer to these references. The first link is Excel Help and Learning Center, that is from Microsoft. This is the link. You can go and explore more for these topics over here. Second one is, it is a MOOC course on Coursera. So I believe you know Coursera. So this course is Introduction to Data Analysis using Excel. It's given by S. Borley, and you can find this course on this link. And apart from this reference, you will find many other tutorials and help in Google, so you can go and explore more by yourself. If you have further questions on these topics, you can write your queries to this mail ID. This is my mail ID, pratyush.deka@galgotiasuniversity.edu.in. So this is our Galgotias University domain, and this is my personal mail ID on Galgotias University. Right? So looking forward for your questions. You can ask at any time, and you can write your queries at any time. Thank you so much.